I was to ever go to America, what places should I not go to? We got 10 most dangerous tourist destinations in the United States. Apparently, number 1 is amazing. I don't see how any dangerous tourist destinations could be good. Let's check this out and see what we got in this, man.
Have you ever thought you'd die on vacation? That type of thing happens more often than you'd think. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to The World According to Briggs. Let's talk about getting croaked on vacation. And that's not something to do with drinking too much. Well, I guess it can be. In 2019, the daughter of a couple my wife and I know from our hometown was bit by a shark while vacationing in the...
Alright, this might not be a good thing for me to watch. I'm going on holiday next week. I'm only going to Spain, but I'm probably not going to die in Spain, but yeah, let's just check this out.
Heartbreakingly, she didn't survive the attack. After this, I started reading about shark attacks, and this, of course, led me down that Google rabbit hole, and I learned far more than is healthy about shark attacks. This, of course, led to another rabbit hole of how many people in the United States are seriously injured or killed while vacationing in the United States.
Really?
I was kind of alarmed, and you might find this one a little bit shocking. There are over 2 billion tourist trips in the United States every non-pandemic year. That is both American and foreign tourists visiting places in the United States. That's a lot of opportunities for people to kick the bucket while having a good time. We're not going to do this one in any particular order. Here are the most dangerous tourist spots in the United States.
Here we go.
Number 10, Half Dome, Yosemite National Park, California. Easily the most recognizable landmark in all of Yosemite, Half Dome is a granite dome formation towering over the eastern end of the Yosemite Valley like a monolith from a forgotten time.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Half Dome is the most well-known rock formation in the park, perhaps even the entire United States. People from all around the globe have traveled to this place to gaze upon its magnificence.
It is beautiful.
Since 2005, there have been at least 15 deaths, 311 accidents, and 150 search and rescue missions on Half Dome.
Let me guess though, like they're climbing to the top, right? Surely the only way you, well, I suppose like maybe you get lost in the forest.
Around 60 people have died on Half Dome and the trail that leads up to it since they started keeping records around 1910. I did see different stats that say it's closer to 100 people, but most say it's...
Yo, I'm not surprised. Yeah, but like, listen, if I was going to visit it, wait, you would walk around this though. Like if you're going to visit this, where are you going to walk? All I see is mountains.
60 or thereabouts. It takes a whole day to hike this trail in which you climb over 5,000 feet or 1,500 meters if you're not from the United States. And the last 400 feet are nearly vertical, so you need to use cables to complete the climb.
Yeah,
when it rains, the slippery rocks can be deadly. There's a section of Half Dome known as the Death Slabs.
Yeah.
Number 9, Yellowstone National
I can't even walk to the shops. I'm passing on that one.
Yellowstone National Park is located in the western United States, most of which being in the northwest corner of Wyoming, and extends into Montana and Idaho. It is known for its landscapes, wildlife, and geysers, including the most famous geyser of all, Old Faithful. Watching the Old Faithful geyser erupt is a Yellowstone tradition. People from all over the world have found their way to watch this famous geyser. It's like a family bonding moment, like every summer for so many families. Old Faithful is one of nearly 500 geysers in Yellowstone and one of the 6 that park rangers currently predict. It is uncommon to be able to predict a geyser eruption with regularity, but Old Faithful has lived up to the name. It's faithfully been blowing up every 30 minutes for the last 30 years. Oh, and it's also part of a supervolcano that can blow up anytime, potentially killing thousands and pretty much vaporizing anyone that's near it.
Wait, that's mad, right? Like, surely we'll be able to detect if it's going to blow up anytime soon. I swear I've seen everyone say, like, it can just blow up at any time. If that's true, I would not live anywhere near
At least 22 people are known to have died from geyser-related mishaps in and around Yellowstone since 1890. Most of the deaths have been accidents, although 2 people did die trying to swim in the hot springs around the geysers, and 2 other people decided to get a closer look at a geyser and jumped a barrier and basically melted. Yeah, that's always pleasant. So,
yo, am I hearing that right? You decide to swim. Okay.
No, it's a supervolcano. It can blow up at any time. Last time it blew up was over 640,000 years ago. So it's been a while, and a lot of people say another super eruption is going to happen soon, but a lot of scientists say that's just a bunch of nonsense, and we're perfectly safe. But if it blows, it's going to be bad. Now, besides all the supervolcanoes, the geysers, and the hot springs and stuff like that could kill you, got a off chance of being run over by a buffalo, mauled by a bear, attacked by a pack of wolves. These are all potential dangers in Yellowstone. Yellowstone. Now, they don't happen like every weekend or every summer or anything like that. They are very rare to have animals attack and kill someone, but it does happen. Number 8, Action Park, New Jersey. So, this one's dangers were in the past because it was shut down twice. It was opened originally in 1978 and closed in 1976 because of all the lawsuits. Then in 2014, it was reopened by the original owner's son and then closed again in 2016. I watched the documentary on this place and it was insane. This park was filled with anything that could be fun and dangerous. Safety precautions were an afterthought to these people. Most places like this have a motto of safety first. Not this place. It was have a good time, try not to get hurt, and let's throw in some precautions once we realize what's hurting people. So this was a water park, had go-karts, trampolines, an alpine slide, just about anything you could think of. They had a water slide that had a loop in it. This was back before pretty much all these crazy water slides we have now, and it wasn't really well thought out. People would whip down this hill, get to the top of the loop and kind of fall back down on the inside of the loop and hit it and then fall to the bottom of the slide. So people are getting injured all the time. They're getting injured on this one place, so they decided to put a padding in there because that's where people seem to be landing. And then people started coming out with scrapes and all this, and they thought...
Listen, if I see a water slide with a loop, right, I'm gonna just instantly think... That's not safe, you know what I mean? You go in the loop, you go to the top, and you just fall, bro. Like
that maybe there was a problem. There was a screw that was sticking out or something weird like that. They went inside there, and they found out that the pad they had put down there for safety had people's teeth stuck in it. Yeah, that's the type of place this was. It was known as Traction Park, Accident Park, Class Action Park. Little effort was made by state regulators to address these issues that the park had. In later years, personal injury lawsuits led to the closure of an increasing number of the rides, and eventually the entire park was shut down in 1996, like I said. But this place was crazy. They had this wave pool that was called the Tidal Wave Pool. They've had 6 deaths here, and I think 4 of them were because of that pool. Another guy had a heart attack when he hit the cold water after this thing called a Tarzan swing. It was a big rope you swung out over the water and dropped in. Well, the water wasn't heated, and it was freezing. Dude had a heart attack.
Listen, there's a lot of crazy people in this world that would actually want to go there for the adrenaline. Like, they actually would, bro. They'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, like, slide where you drop from the top and you, like, hurt yourself. Yeah, man, I'm down for that,
all kinds of things like that. Alcohol was readily available for anyone with very little checking of the IDs and stuff like that. More than one employee had taken the go-karts onto the highway just outside of the park. This place was crazy. If you ever get a chance, go to, I think it's on HBO Max. The documentary is called Class Action Park.
I can't lie, it sounds fun. I would go
Number 7, the Grand Canyon. Since 1919, they've had 130 deaths at the Grand Canyon, and most of the ones that are a result of falling off a cliff were people trying to, quit the oxygen habit on their own. On average, the Grand Canyon sees 12 deaths a year and around 300 rescues. Most rescues are heat-related injuries, broken bones, things like that. More than a few people have been hit by falling rocks and had eye injuries, and one woman in 2016 broke her own nose with her fist while adjusting her bra. Not kidding. Don't know how big this bra was, but apparently it packed a wallop.
Listen, how are you going to include that in the injury list? She was fixing her bra, smacks it, and broke her own nose.
Number 6,
Something
Hawaii.
don't sound right with
Between
that.
July of 2015 and January of 2019, around 177 tourists died in Hawaii, around 1 a week on average. Most have died from injuries suffered while doing common tour in Hawaii. July of 2015 and January of 2019, around 177 tourists died in Hawaii, around 1 a week on average. Most have died from injuries suffered while doing common tourist activities like swimming, snorkeling, hiking, eating Spam. Drowning is a big killer, as you can imagine, and most of the time it happens while snorkeling, not while surfing or anything like that. Moped and scooter accidents are another big one, and I was really hoping to see a bunch of people got hit on the head with coconuts every year, but I guess that rarely happens. I was informed, though, by Kayla, our resident Hawaiian, that calling a local coconut to their face might get you hit on the head with something. Number 5, Golden Gate National...
Is that... They're just dying from snorkeling? But, like, how? Like, for 1 a week on average to be dying, like, something crazy is going on, right? Surely. So, like, snorkeling, how are they dying just snorkeling? Are they going too low and just, like, drowning and stuff?
National recreation area. This one you might not think is dangerous, but it is. Growing up near the ocean, I can tell you sometimes it is deceptively dangerous. Rip current, shore pound, and sneaker waves are some of the risks you face when getting wet in the Pacific Ocean. Golden Gate Recreation Park has all those and more.
Wow.
This is a rocky shoreline, and if you're not paying attention, a wave will pick you up and throw you against the rocks. That's never fun. If you're not sure what that feels like, run outside, jump as high as you can in the air, and land flat on your back. Pretty much feels like that. Despite its name, the Golden Gate
let me just go try it for you guys, and I'll come back and I'll tell you how it feels.
Bridge is not part of the park. It is managed by the Bridge District, and so the rising number of jumpers off the bridge here are not part of the park's stats. The roads and cliffs around the park are dangerous, and I've been here. Been quite a few years, but I can tell you these cliffs are unstable. It's no joke. Since 1972, 86 people have died here. Number 4, Lake Mead. Just east of Las Vegas, you have Lake Mead in the middle of the Nevada desert. In case you've never heard of it, it's where Hoover Dam is. This place is dangerously hot, the terrain is treacherous, and in the last decade, 7 people have been murdered here that they know of. Legend has it, this lake has a good amount of bodies at the bottom that didn't end up there by mistake. About 25 people a year die in and around this 290 square mile lake. A lot of those have to do with drowning, boating accidents, boating and drinking.
25 people a year? Bro, are people just coming in and just throwing bodies? Like getting rid of bodies in this lake?
There's a lot of drinking that goes on in these desert lakes. I've been to quite a few of them growing up in Southern California, and drinking's always an issue, and boating accidents. It's a nightmare some weekends. Number 3, Alaska. Alaska was the only state in the U.S. with more than 600 violent crimes per 100,000 residents in 2018. That's not good starting things off.
No,
Most of the time, those would be locals, but more than a few have been tourists. There are some potentially scary animals living around almost every tourist destination in this state. Matter of fact, the whole state's just filled with scary animals. The animals aren't what get most tourists, though.
Wow.
There's a variety of ways tourists in Alaska take the big nap. Hunting accidents, fishing accidents, which basically are drownings, car accidents, and hiking accidents, which include exposure or people just vanishing. That happens way too much.
Yeah, well, I'm actually not surprised with the vanishing part because, like, America is such a big place, right? And even these videos right now, it's just fields and mountains and forests and etc. Bro, you can go missing so easily,
Accident thing. If you've ever driven in Alaska, which I have, I'm surprised it's not way higher. Those are some of the worst and scary roads I've ever seen. You name it and you can die from it in Alaska. Alaska sees about 60 accidental deaths every year. That doesn't sound like much until you realize there's almost nobody living in this state. They have like the population of Rhode Island, and they're like the largest state. It's crazy. Number 2, Mardi Gras, New Orleans. Mardi Gras can be an incredibly good time. The chances of you getting killed are very slim. They have plenty of police that know what they're doing, and they do it well. But they can't be everywhere. The first thing I'm going to tell you...
this is the first one where it's just not like the wilderness. It's just a city.
Sound like a big deal, and it's not terribly dangerous, but you should know about this. Never wear sandals. Wear legit shoes. This place is so crowded, your feet will get stepped on over and over and over. Normally by drunk people with real shoes on.
Surely that's not the dangerous part.
Then you have the trash on the ground that's disgusting, and your day will be ruined when you start sloshing around the street that's filled with trash and beer and anything else. There are pickpocket scammers and straight up bad people in the crowd looking for an opportunity. If you've been drinking all day, the chances of you becoming an opportunity get higher and higher with every drink. New Orleans is a dangerous city, and it's always on the list of the most violent cities. Walking back to your hotel to save a buck can be a deadly mistake. Get a cab, get an Uber, get something. One last thing I will tell you, never touch the police horse. I promise you, if that happens, if you do that, you're drunk, you even pet that horse, you will catch a beating. Now there's not...
Wait, well, from the horse or the policeman? The horse or the policeman?
Really,
which one?
Any stats that I can give you on this, because it varies and it's really different and it varies year to year. But New Orleans can be a very dangerous place for a tourist, especially because being a tourist, you don't know the city. You could be a victim very easily.
Number one's
before
amazing.
we get to number 1, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. If you like what we're doing here, please hit the subscribe button and ring that little bell notification
I'm ready for
so
this.
you know when we uploaded. That just helps out the channel and I'd really appreciate it. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, New Smyrna Beach. Florida. New Smyrna Beach is on the Atlantic coast of Florida, just south of Daytona, a little north of Cape Canaveral, and it's a great place to go if you want to get bit by a shark. According to the University of Florida in 2007, New Smyrna Beach experienced more shark bites than any other place in the world, even beating out shark hotspots like South Africa.
No
Since
way.
they started logging shark attacks, New Smyrna Beach has had a total of 238 attacks to date, with 25 bites in 2008 alone. They also had 24 in 2016. So let me give you an idea.
25 and 24 in separate years? Shark bites? Yo!
How high that 238 number is. There have only been about 2,800 shark attacks recorded ever for the entire planet. They started tracking these in 1580. Yeah, that far back. In other words,
what?
New Smyrna Beach has seen almost 9% of all reported shark attacks ever. So if you really want to get...
Yo, I can't lie. That is beautiful. That might be worth a shark bite.
bit by a shark or go watch someone get bit by a shark, this is the best place to visit.
Nice. Yes, nice.
All right, that's today's list.
Really good video though. Enjoyed that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Let me know your guys' opinions down in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you guys want to help with this channel, I really appreciate if you guys can subscribe as well. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.